Hello everybody, it's Miss Kristen from the Lake Hiawatha Library, and I'm here today to do another book tasting. This time I'm going to be talking about easy nonfiction. And so these are books that are great for anybody that's ages like 3 to 7 because it gives you nonfiction facts. So what does nonfiction mean? It means there are books that have facts and real information about the world around us. So they're not stories. And so these are really simple, easy to understand books about different facts. So I have a bunch here I'm going to go over, and one of the great things about a lot of these books are they're in series. So if you like one of them, you'll probably like the other ones in those series. All right, and so all of these books can be found at the Lake Hiawatha or Parsippany Libraries. You can give us a call and let us know, I want to take this book out, or if you want to put a hold on it, you definitely can. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so the first book I'm going to talk about, it's a series called, and it's about the continents of the world. So each book is a different continent. So this one I have here is about Africa. And so these are really great to start kind of learning about the world around us because it goes through like the different animals, the different kind of people, the different kind of weather, and how like the languages they speak and everything like that. But it's really simple, short sentences so that it'll keep your attention but give you just a little information about each continent. And so there's one for each continent of the world. And so this is called Africa, and you can just find it by looking for that. And it's by Mary Lindeen. All right, so that's the continents of the world. All right, so this next one I'm going to talk about is called Manners at the Table, and this is another series, and so it has different manners, like manners at the playground, manners for taking care of your library book, manners for on the school bus, manners for being in public, and so it just goes through little short things about how you can have good manners, and they usually apply to things. So this is like a manners at the table, like you should wash your hands before you come to the table. And so it's a great learning tool for anybody that just needs to start learning about how to have good manners. And so it's a very simple, very quick read, but it definitely gets a lot of different manners that you should use. All right, so this one's Manners at the Table, but again, they have a bunch of different manners type books that you can look for. And they're just called manners at the whatever. So manners on the school bus, manners at the library, manners in public, and all those. All right, so manners at the table. There are so many different types of animals in the world around us. How could we know about all of them, right? But they have books that will tell us all these interesting facts and information and like how they do things, what they eat, what they look like, where they live. And this one is a great one that I wanted to show because it's called Better Together Animal Groups, Geese Gaggles. So they have a bunch of different animal group books like this, but this one is a really fun one because it's a wonder book. So if you don't know what a wonder book is, it's a book where they have this nice little keypad here where if you play it, it will read the book with you. And I really enjoy books that you can listen to while also reading because it's a great way for you to start seeing how things are spelled, but also what they sound like. Because sometimes things look a lot different from how they're spelled and to what they sound like. So this way we can know we're saying them correctly. So that is a great way to have the book read to you, and it explains how you work it right on here. And we have a bunch of different wonder books at the library now. So if you're interested in wonder books and you want some more of those, definitely let us know and we can show you all our different ones. So this one is about geese, and it'll tell you all about where they go on land or water, what they're called when they're in a group, how they eat, where they go, and all these other fun facts. So this is about geese gaggles. Okay, so this next one is about investigating the seasons. So this one I have is called Let's Look at Winter. And so this one's a great one because it has a lot of questions in the book that they give you the answers to. So while you're reading it, you can ask yourself the questions and say, why are the leaves brown right now? And what is the answer? Because the leaves are falling because it's fall. And so it goes through all the different ways you can tell what season it is and what that season means, and the different questions about like the animals and what they might be doing during the seasons. And it's just very simple, but I like it because you guys, when you read it, you can answer the questions and then see if you got it right. All right, so this one we have one for every season. But this one's called Let's Look at Winter, because what season's coming up next? Winter. That's right. Dinosaurs! Because we all love dinosaurs. And they're super interesting to learn about. So this one is really great because it does have the scientific name for all the dinosaurs, and then also how to pronounce it. So if you aren't sure how to pronounce it, it'll give you a little hint right there in the parentheses about how it should be sounded out. But it goes through each different kind of dinosaur and gives you a little bit more about them and about how they lived their lives. So you can just get some information. So this is a great beginner dinosaur book. And we all love dinosaurs and learning more about them. So it's a great resource to learn all the different names and also a little bit about them, like are they meat eaters, are they plant eaters, what defining characteristics do they have scales on their backs, do they have a long tail, and all of that fun stuff. So this is called Dinosaurs by Gail Gibbons. I love this book because it's got fun experiments in it that you can do at home. And most of them, you don't even need anything special for. So this is one of my favorites that I've used before, and it's called I Get Wet. And so it explains more about liquids and how they work in the world and how water works. So they have on each page they have like a little experiment you can do with your own home to see like everything they're talking about in action. So like this one is about how the water comes off of a faucet. And how water can travel, how it fills up different shapes and everything like that. So this one's called I Get Wet, but this again is a series of books, and so they have one about sight, they have one about smell, they have a bunch of different ones, and they're just called I Can Smell and things like that. So but these are by Vicky Cobb, and they are amazing for those beginning scientists that we all have at home. Okay, so this next one is about the moon. And it's called Moon, Earth's Best Friend. I'm sure we've all looked up at the sky before and saw the moon up there. And how does it stay up there? How far away is it? What is it even doing? So this book will answer all those questions and more. But I really like it because it's also kind of funny while it answers those questions. So it'll definitely, hopefully, keep your attention while you learn more about the moon and what it's doing, how it changes, how it affects the earth, and all that fun stuff about the moon. And if you like this one, they also have 2 other ones, one about the Earth and one about the sun. The sun, 1 in a billion, and Earth, my first 4.54 billion years. And so those are really great for learning a little bit about the world and probably answering some of those questions you might have. All right, so that's Moon, Earth's best friend. Okay, so this next one is called Sea Bones. And I really like this one because it's a fun and simple way to look at sea life. Most of the information does consist of bone facts, like are there animals without bones in the sea? And it really shows you like what the skeletons will look like, and what those what makes up the different sea life and all these different things. And it's very simple. It doesn't have too much information, and it goes through a lot of different animals. And then at the very back, they have this handy dandy chart where you can see if you remember what you just learned. Like, are these fish? And you can go and answer, are they fish? Does it have a backbone? What kind of skeleton is it? And what does it eat? And so all those things that you can learn in this book by going and reading about sea bones. And you'll get to learn about the different kinds of bones in a fish. And also, you get to see it. All right, and so that one's called Sea Bones. Okay, so I think we all know and love that there are so many different kinds of construction vehicles and cars and things like that. And so these are really great because they go through and show what each construction vehicle really does and what it's for. Because sometimes you see it and you're just like, what do they even do with that, right? And so it'll show you what they do with a bulldozer. That's the one I have, bulldozers. So if you don't know what a bulldozer does, you can see all the different ways you can use it. Like, not just to bulldoze dirt, right? You could bulldoze snow. You could bulldoze recycling. And it also kind of explains how the bulldozer works. But it's all very simple and easy to understand. So this one's about bulldozers, but we have some about backhoes, concrete mixers, cranes, dump trucks, earth movers, all those different kinds. And so this is the Mighty Machines series. So anybody that really likes all those construction machines and cars and things like that will probably love to learn a little bit more about them by reading these books. Alright, so this next one is an easy reader. So this one's a little harder, and it's meant for those of us that are learning to read on our own. So this one is called Stingrays, and it's part of the Oceans Alive series. And so inside, it'll tell you all about stingrays, where they live, what they do, and it's all done in very simple terms, simple words that a beginning reader can usually read. And of course, as you're reading, if you're reading on your own, if you come to a word you don't know, what do? You ask your grown-up, what word is that? How do you say it? And if you don't know what it means, what does it mean? And that way you can learn a bunch of new words while you're learning also about interesting animal facts. So this one's stingrays, but we have a bunch of different animals that are in the ocean for this Oceans Alive series. Okay, so this is another easy reader, and this one is about the story of coding. So if you really like video games, computers, and all those different fun things, like those games you play on like your iPad and things like that, this will give you answers about how it all came to be. So you can learn about what different coding languages mean, how they first started learning about coding, how they used it in the back in the day, about early computers. And this one is definitely a little harder, but it's an easy reader, so it's one for those beginning to read. But it is got a lot of hard words in it. So obviously you might want to have a reading buddy when you read this, because that way you can ask them, how do you say this word? What does it mean? And all those things if you get stuck. All right? So that is The Story of Coding. Okay, so my last book I'm going to talk about is called 28 Days, Moments in Black History That Changed the World. And so this one is one that I really, really enjoy because it helps us learn about history and all these amazing people that changed the world around us. And so each story is a different day. So I think I would love to read these every night, one a night, because there are a lot of words. So it'll take a little while. But you can learn about someone new every night. So you can learn about different historical figures, different things they've done for the world, different things. Like this one's just about the 14th Amendment. There's different people, court decisions that affected the world, Jackie Robinson, all these different things. But they have the information in a fun way that's a great, like, little poems. And then after the poems, they have a little paragraph that gives you a little bit more information about each thing that happened. And so this is one that you could read one a night, or you could read more than that. But I just really like this because it's got so much history packed up in one little book. All right, so that's 28 Days, Moments in Black History That Changed the World. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to my explanations of all these fun books. I hope that some of them caught your interest. And as always, if there's any that you are interested in, please call the library or place a hold on them so that you can get them. And remember, if you want extra books while you're coming to pick them up, you can always ask us at the library for some recommendations, because we're always happy to give you recommendations. Okay? So I hope you have a great day. All right. Goodbye.